Hello, everyone. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, and welcome back to the lounge. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. If you're not here live, that's cool. Hopefully, you'll catch the replay. I'm Coach Reg, relationship coach. Excited to be here with you again for yet another edition of Sip and Chill with Coach Reg. And again, I'm a relationship coach, founder of Are You Coached, a relationship coaching platform geared toward helping individuals identify, participate, strengthen, and sustain healthy relationships. Founder of Sip and Chill with Coach Reg, a interactive virtual lounge where members learn to start, strengthen, and sustain healthy relationships. My clients are high-functioning, high-achieving professional men and women who have attained many of their professional goals but may not yet have the interpersonal relationships that they desire or best serve them. And so we coach around those things. And so, yeah, welcome everyone. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Alex. Hey, Pitty Doo. Hey, Gwen. I think I missed some folks. Let me scroll back down so I can see you. Got you. Hey, listen, I'm excited to hang out with you. Hope this topic is something that resonates because I got some questions for you. I do. Hey, Demetrius, how are you? Man, it's good to see you guys. It's absolutely good to be here with you, and I'm glad you're hanging out with me. Yeah. So, I guess this topic was kind of appealing, right? And I'm going to share some things and share with you where it came from. But before we get into that, I want to actually ask you and hope that you'll choose to participate with me this time, right? About that. Oh, but you know what? Before we get into the topic, because we got a little bit of time. Hey, listen, I know it's getting cool, and I think summer is kind of almost over if it's not already. And I was talking to one of my buddies, right? And I want to smoke. Can I just be honest with you? Yeah, I want to get my smoke on and my sip on tomorrow. Yeah, and a buddy of mine and I are talking about getting out. Don't know if it's going to happen, but if I do, and if you're local and you want to come hang out and get your smoke and sip on, let me know. But I'll put that out if I go. Because I put it out there now, I gotta follow through and let you know if I do go. But yeah, definitely, and would love to do that tomorrow. I don't know why, it kind of just hit me, and I'd rather have a nice stick, nice beverage, and some cool people to hang out with. So yeah, but anyway, how about you guys? Big plans for the weekend? Anything exciting popping? I know that I'm excited about what's to come because I told you that we have. We're about to launch Sip and Chill VIP, and there's more information coming. Some of you have expressed interest in that, and I definitely look for that in a week or so because I want you to be able to take advantage of the very first one if you choose to be a part of that. So before we get into it, or not before we get into it, the topic, again, I hope you choose to participate. But let me ask you, have you ever been told or said to someone, I miss you? Yeah. And if you have, what did it mean? Yeah. What did it mean? Yeah. Okay. How did you respond? Did you kind of say the same? Or did you say, I don't think so? And it could have been, right? Because now, in fairness, if it's coming from some place that you rather not entertain, right, then that's obvious, like, it's whatever. But we're talking about those situations where people that you do have an affinity for, right, or have an affinity for you, when they say that to you, what does it mean? Now, listen. In many relationships, they can be on again, off again. They can struggle. You can go away from each other and you come back to this space of, man, time passes. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Welcome to the lounge. Happy you are here. It may be a situation where you have, because again, we're talking about persons who you have an affinity for. They have an affinity for you, okay? And for whatever the reason, you may have gone away from each other, right? Our relationship was over, regardless of why it ended, but you've gone away from each other, and now somebody calls and says, hey, I was thinking about you, right? I miss you. Now, again, if you have an affinity for this person, it may sound kind of cool to be like, oh man, they miss me, because you think well of them also, right? So that's the foundation. So now I'll re-ask my question. What does that mean to you? And how did you respond? Okay, Gwen. Mr. Chemistry, that feeling of oneness that goes in sometimes it's missing the conversation to come in, but usually it's the vibe because the feeling is super hard to. Fine, because it feels so good. Yeah, and that is very honest. That is extremely honest. That is extremely honest. And so here's the thing, right? So I'm gonna share something with you because this topic has really happened in my life, right? And when I had this experience, because I was in a relationship some years ago, and this was how she and I kind of reconnected. It was the whole I miss you, because we were familiar and we were not on bad terms, and we did not end on bad terms. But there were things there that were not resolved, right? And so it wasn't until after we reconnected that I learned this lesson, which is why I've kind of wanted to share it with you. And I just was thinking the other day, I said, man, this may be helpful, right? So Gwen, what you're saying is spot on. And that's typically what draws us back. All those things and then some other things that you wrote about are exactly what brings us back to that space, right? But then the thing is, it's not as simple as that, right? It's not enough to say, I miss you. It's not enough to hear, I miss you. And the reason it isn't is because there's a reason that you went away from each other. And it's understandable that you would miss each other. You would miss the vibe. You'd miss the chemistry. You miss the oneness, the coziness, all the stuff that made it feel good. I understand that. I totally do. Now, again, this happened to me. So I'm not going to say that everybody struggles with this. It was something I struggled with, okay? And it wasn't until, again, I had this experience and I was having a conversation with someone and they asked me a question. They said, you know what? Why didn't you ask this? Or better yet, she didn't even say that. She said to me, you both said you both expressed that you missed each other. But did you ask the question? What did you miss? What do you miss specifically? And the reason those are important questions is because you need those answers, because if you don't ask them, it's easy to slip back into something that is not good for you. Again, it doesn't mean that it's toxic. I'm not talking about those kinds of situations. I'm saying something as simple as you and your person have discussed things, or in my case, back then it was a matter of common goals, right? She wanted to be married. Nothing wrong with that. I'd already been married and divorced twice. And so I had those experiences. And so I just was not in that space. But it didn't mean that she was a bad person and wasn't worthy of marriage. That's not the point at all. But what happened was, because we didn't have those tough conversations about what we actually missed, because it wasn't enough to just say, I miss you. Because again, we were not on bad terms. We did well together, but what we wanted ultimately was not the same. And so had I known to ask that question, right? Or had that question been posed to me, it probably would have saved us another ride on the roller coaster, so to speak, right? And so that's why this is so important. And I hope you hear my heart on this. This is not, again, it's not for someone that you have no interest in speaking with about anything ever again. 1 second, what was the answer? What did she miss? Oh, hold on a second. I think we have more questions. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed some of this stuff. We got some questions. Wow, I'm sorry, fam. I missed some of your comments. Nikki says it means they miss me, doesn't necessarily. Exactly, and that's true. That's true. Coming from where it comes from, it could just be that they miss you. But then it begs the question, it doesn't mean that they want anything, but what's the value in saying it if they don't, right? So it may not mean that it doesn't mean that you want something with them, but they may want something. We never know, right? Tanya says, what did I miss? Yes, you do miss the most important questions. Yeah, I think it's a very important question because it can save you time. See, because here's the thing. If say for example, keeping with mine, and say marriage was her intent, right? And so, which it was, and I'm not certain that that's what I want. And so say she said to me, she said, listen, Reg, I hear you and I understand, but look, that's something I desire. And if you can't tell me, now let me set this up better. So if I say I miss her, right? And she says, yes, I miss you too. I miss us. Okay, that's cool. All right, we agree on that. Challenge is you desire something that I'm not certain I do. And so it's very difficult to say, let's go back and try this again when it's not clear that the objective is to get to that end. Now, here's the point. At that point, I was like, I can't make you any promises, and I knew that I couldn't. But the key is to have that conversation. Now, the hearer has the responsibility to say, hey, you know what? I respect that, but that's not enough, right? So, wait a minute. You guys are going tonight. Okay. I'm going to finish my point and get to yours. I promise. So again, there was a disconnect. And so because we didn't define what missing meant, we went right back to what was familiar. And not that what was familiar was bad. It just wasn't ideal because it wasn't going to lead to what she wanted or what I wanted, right? And all I'm saying is, when someone says to you, I miss you, I just want you to think about asking a question. What exactly do you miss? Now, on that, let me pick this up and get some questions. All right, so Gwen says, what if the answer is something like, I miss your smile, your smell, the silly expressions you make in general? One moment. That actual statement he made. Okay, that kind of response loops me. See when I know. Hold on. Well, okay, guys. Hold on. Okay, you guys are going really fast. This is great. I love this, but I got to see what you're saying. Okay, what if the answer is something like, miss your smile, silly expressions you make, and you in general? That's actually a statement. That kind of response loops me right in, even when I know it's wrong. Okay, so Gwen, to your question and comment, that's fine because it's honest. But you got to honor what you desire more than being looped back in. In other words, you can't let you don't want to let the words I miss you seduce you back into something that's not good for you. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm just simply saying, have the conversation. Get clear on what's missed. Be clear about what you miss. And if nothing has changed since you guys left each other's space, then choose you. That's really all I wanted. That's all. Choose you. Okay. Got you. Okay. Nikki says, sometimes you can miss someone particular about a person, but not want to rekindle. Absolutely. And exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that, again, because that is the honesty in it, right? That's the honesty and just a statement, because sometimes it stands on its own merit. And I choose to, I think it's good to tell people how you feel. And when I say how you feel, meaning you can have the conversation absent of expectation. And you can tell them that, hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know. I know that we don't want the same things. I know we're not in the same space, so I'm not trying to confuse this or muddy the water. I just wanted you to know. And that's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Okay. You said something about the person or what they brought to the relationship, but not the totality. Yes. Bernice Friendly Justice, absolutely. Tanya says, chooses you or have fun for the night. Yeah, I mean, listen, these are all adult decisions and choices, right? My hope is that if you're not thinking this way, that you consider it, right? Because you may be in a situation presently with someone that you were on again, off again with, perhaps a situationship, okay? And they happen. That's real life. Those things happen. But here's the deal. You want to make sure that you ask the question for your benefit. Okay? And you want to encourage the person too. Let's get clear. Because nobody's trying to waste time, right? You can care about someone and they can care about you. But if your goals are incongruent, come on now. Let's do better. Oh, Nikki says, hold on. Nikki says, sometimes it's the feeling of nostalgia, but will quickly go away when you actually see it. That can happen too. That can happen too. Nikki, is it because they physically changed, or are they just the same person? Or when you see them in person, whatever that was that caused you to go away, you're reminded of. That's funny and very true. My gosh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, because, just again. Now, here's the other thing. Oh, 1 second. Tanya asked, so Coach, you're saying sometimes I miss you just means fun? It could. It could, and you can choose to have fun. I see your next message. You could choose you or choose to have fun for the night. You could totally do that. And Nikki says it can be both. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I want to be clear. There is no right or wrong in this, right? It really is you being certain about what you want. Now, if you want to go have some fun, again, I'm not mad at you. I promise I'm not. You know why? Because as long as you're willing to live with that outcome, I'm not judging the choice, but I'm just saying be clear and ask specific questions and get answers so that you can make the most informed decision if you choose to want to continue to have fun, or you say, nah, I'm going to pass. Because and here's why this is important, because this is someone you actually dig a little bit and they dig you. So it's easy to slip back in. It can be very subtle. Here's why, because it's emotional. You care. This is a matter of the heart. This is a matter of the heart. I don't disagree, Tanya. Coach, fun can be dangerous if you aren't careful. And all I'm saying is I want you to be sharp. I want you to be smart. And I want you to ask some questions and be clear on those answers before you make a move. Now listen to me. If it's a situation where you desired something, and again, I used the example of marriage earlier. Hey, Auntie, how you doing? Happy Friday. So glad you're here. I used the example earlier of marriage, but let's stick with that, right? So you can have people who emotionally manipulate, right? In other words, you come back to the table, you have these conversations, you ask the question, you say, what did you miss? And they said, well, I thought about what you said and I realized my life is not that good without you in it. I was like, oh, that sounds real cool, but I want to be married. Yes, I do. And I'm not saying I want to marry you today, but I'm certain that that's something I absolutely want to do. Yes, I want us to build towards that. Sounds cool, right? Now, what you have to do, if that is indeed the example, and again, go with me, folks. It's you apply it however it makes sense to your life and situation experience. But what I want to illustrate here is the person who says, yes, I get it now. I want what you want. We want the same things. Sounds real cool. Hit your ear just right. Here's the thing. Now you got to be patient and allow time to unfold to ascertain if what they said is true. Because sometimes people will mislead or misrepresent. And so just because it sounds good and just because this person's familiar to you doesn't mean that everything's, we want the same. Not so fast. And so this is not about a microwave quick decision, because I get the familiarity. I get the calling back. Hey, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a minute. Or ask where it's coming from. See, because what I understand, these streets ain't no joke. And meeting people is more than a notion, especially quality people. So even that person that isn't good for you, it's easy to get real nostalgic and remember things about them, especially when you don't have nothing else going on, or nothing else that's of interest to you, I should say. I won't say it like you don't have anything else going on, but there may not be anything of interest that's coming to you. So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna fall back. I want you just to be clear. It's all I'm asking you to consider. And when that statement is made about I miss you, just be clear and ask the question, what exactly do you miss? And listen, if what they miss is topical, superficial, familiar, and you know that's not enough, be honest with yourself that it's not enough. And if you know it's not enough and you still want to go have fun like Tanya was saying, then that's okay too. But I just want you to be clear on what you're signing up for. That's all I'm saying. Please get clear on what you're signing up for. Does that make sense? Tanya, I miss you hit different when nothing else is happening. Right. Right. Because if you got somebody else who has your attention, that's cool. Thank you, but I'm over here now. It just rolls off. But when you don't, you're like, well, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad, right? Or maybe it wasn't so bad. Or maybe I'm being too hard. Or maybe my standards are too high. Or maybe I need to give it a try. No, not necessarily. Now, if that's what you choose, hey, but not necessarily. I just want you to love you more. I want you to choose you, and I want you to make intelligent and informed decisions, because this is not a logical proposition. It is absolutely emotional. And the reason it's emotional is because the situation is familiar. Okay, I'm listening. What you got? Have any of you ever been drawn back into something that you knew wasn't good for you based on the words, hearing the words, or even saying the words, I miss you? Gwen talked about it. Oh, Nikki, what are you saying? Don't get lost in the I miss you when he really means he missed the point. Hey, Nikki, listen, that's honest. That is honest. 100%. And listen. Oh, Nick Cole. I got two Nickies. Yes. Absolutely refuse to go back. Yes. I left for a reason. 100%. And Nicole, that is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Remembering your reason. If you choose to go back, that's cool, but you know that there's a reason you're not together, because if you're together, nobody's talking about I miss you. So, hey, big bro, what's up, Kev? How you doing, man? Ty says, so yeah, don't get, wow, Nick, that's honest. Gwen, you get it. See, I mean, listen, we grown. We don't have to play this game. We know what familiarity looks like, right? We do. And it's easy to be, especially if that thing was cool and it was enjoyable. Yeah. You know, there are three different Nickies on here. There's a Veronique, there's a Nicole, and there's a Shaniqua. And each of you have nicknames of Nikki. So this one is Nikki Austin. Nikki, yes, that is hilarious. I miss you with I'm coughing. That's hilarious. Yeah, and see, Nikki, this is Nicole Garrett. If I left, it was after I gave it 100 and it did not work. And that, oh my God, that is a powerful statement. You know why that's so powerful? Because when you do what you just described, Nicole, what happens is that it comes with no regret. It comes with no regret because you've exhausted every possibility that you could. Now, you did your part and you're comfortable and at peace with the part that you gave. And that person didn't match or meet, or better yet, match, meet, and or exceed your effort. And you're like, hey, I'm out. Again, goes back to choosing you more, loving you more. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And listen, had I known to ask, that's why it was so profound to me when I had a conversation with someone after that relationship was over, and I was kind of recounting to her what happened. And she says, well, she just said, what, did you guys even discuss what you missed, or did you just stop at I miss you? I was like, wow, that's a good point. I'm a thoughtful person. That was like profound to me. That's why I said I was a little late to the game. Maybe some of you got there faster. Maybe some of you knew to ask that question. I didn't. But I tell you this much, it helped shape how I moved from that point forward. Yeah, I totally appreciate that person. And she's my friend. She's a good friend of mine. And I tell her often, I said, thank you so much for that conversation. Because it really was pivotal for me, right? So again, it's cool to hear the words. It's cool to deliver the words. The thing is, just be clear on what you miss if you deliver those words. If those words are delivered to you, be sure to ask, what do you miss, sir, ma'am? I'll wait. I want to hear this. Because if it's just superficial, I miss you, that's fine. But if it's like, hey, let's see if we can be something again, and nothing has changed, then nah, just consider it. Very cool, Nikki. Very cool. Nikki says, I'm straightforward and will ask explicitly, what do you miss? Oh, man. Nikki Gary says, I miss my ice cream, but I don't want it, so I'll leave it right in the freezer. Nikki, can I tell you, you have amazing discipline. You really do. And I respect and admire it because I like to believe I've learned that skill, or developed that skill as well. So one second. Tanya says, yes, I do ask that question because you can get things mixed up or end up hurt. Because if you don't ask, you will make assumptions in your mind. Absolutely, Tanya. 1,000%. And that's why I'm encouraging these conversations. 1,000%. You sag, I think we may be twins separated. Yes. Yeah. That is, this is, I mean, again, it is hey, Dre, how you doing? How you doing? Nice to see you again. Welcome back to the lounge. Happy Friday. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's the thing. You know, for me, I had to have an experience, right? Some people, they learn differently. They can learn by watching someone else have an experience that says, that's not going to be me. And, hey, Regina, how you doing? How are you? Welcome back to the lounge. Happy Friday. Yeah, it really just comes down to you just having a conversation. Now, again, some people learn by, they just figured it out. They knew it. Some people could watch someone else have an experience. That's not going to be me. In my case, I had to have the experience, and it's not a bad experience to have. It's just being clear on what it is. Now, let's be clear also, okay? This is not a zero-sum proposition because, listen, if this person is familiar to you and you to them, you can have this conversation and it still go down. Just saying. But you still need to choose you. Hey, John, what's up, brother? Happy you are here, man. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So yeah, I mean, if it's, you definitely want to be, you just need to know, all right? You just need to know what it is. And if it is what it is what it is, okay? That's fine. But don't kid yourself. Because like Tanya says, if you kid yourself, you can end up playing yourself. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to be clear. So if you walk in with your eyes wide open. Now, again, we're talking about you, the individual. We can't account for the other person. And if the other person is not willing to consider you, all the more reason why you need to consider you. Yeah. What does saying I miss you really mean? What does it mean? What does hearing it? What does saying it? It's going to mess some folks up because here's why. Here's why. Listen to me. Sometimes when you're familiar with the person and things that you once allowed, they expect you to continue to allow them. Okay? When you change your position on things, this is going to shock them. Like, whoa, you never asked me nothing like that before. Why did it matter? No, because it does. Sir, ma'am, okay? It's going to mess people up. This is about you. This is about you making choices, the best choices for you. Yeah, because if people are considering you and they are selfish, then you need to be selfish, more selfish, and consider you since no one else is. Can we just be honest? Can we just be honest for a second, right? Why are people even in relationships in the first place? Because we all are innately selfish. We want what we want, and we believe this person can give us something, or we can get something from it. Right? That's why we're there. And that's why they're there. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not bad, because it can be good, because what you bring can be valuable. What they bring can be valuable. So that's a win-win. I'm not suggesting that being selfish in that regard is bad, because you're being selfish because you're choosing something that you believe will add value to your life, and you're willing to offer something that you believe will add value to someone else's. So let's be very clear there. But what I am saying to you is that can get lost once we become familiar. And there are things that you may have allowed me to get away with, so to speak, when we were together, or I may have allowed you to get away with when we were together. Now we're no longer together for whatever the reason. And then once one of us calls, you call me, I call you, and now it's like, I miss you. All right, that's cool. And that might have worked before, but it doesn't work so much anymore. Okay? Nikki, what's your question? Let's see. If you're seeing someone and he asks, do you miss me? And you don't really, maybe, because you've been busy. Is it okay to say no? Or does the group believe, hold on, the truth is hurtful? Wow, that's a great question, Nikki. That's a great question. I'll tell you the truth. I mean, the truth. I would suggest being honest. Now, your honesty comes with a caveat. It's not because you've been sitting around twiddling your thumbs and you haven't been thinking about them. You've been busy. You've been distracted. So I think that you're being honest. If he says, do you miss me? Well, you can say, I honestly haven't had a chance to. It's not because you don't care about him. It's not because he doesn't matter. This is why I believe being truthful can serve you. In other words, your no, I don't. Just please offer an explanation, because that can be hard to hear. Like, you don't? That, because he's asking you this question. And is it a situation where should it be it may come with the conversation, because I don't know if you guys are still getting to know each other, or this is an established relationship, right? So there could be some things there that we just don't know. Yeah, and the group is responding too. I mean, goodness gracious. And you can read the comments. This is great. I love it. I love it. This is why VIP is going to be so cool. I hope y'all get on this VIP thing. I'm telling you, it's going to come, because you want to be a part of First Fridays, because that's going to be live. And we can have these conversations seeing each other. Yeah, that's what's going to be cool. All right, so. Say why. Okay. Truth is always best, but hurting is not always necessary. If you think it's going to be hurtful, maybe don't answer or say, I wish I did, but sorry I don't. Thank you, Gary. You're getting a lot of responses. Obviously, you have to do what you feel is best in this. When is VIP coming? In a week and a half. My goal is to launch First Friday. So first week of October. Yes, first Friday of October. So the flyer is coming out. I got to get some things in together. Still working some back office things, but we definitely are going to make it happen. It is coming. You'll have an opportunity to participate, and I hope that you choose to do so. And it's going to be awesome. I'm actually going to do a separate video on VIP when we're ready to launch. Yeah, but it's going to be slick. And what we'll do, just kind of high level, those of us who are in VIP, we're going to be having this conversation live. Like, I can see you, you can see me, and we're going to be broadcasting to this space, the Sip and Show group. So yeah. And those persons, unfortunately, won't be able to ask questions that particular Friday, because it's First Fridays, right? Only those persons in VIP can get to chop it up. So yeah. But Nikki, to your question, right? In every situation, right, you have to do what you feel is best. And I love that you're willing to hear from others, to kind of get a feel for what people want. And I figured you were always honest. I'm not even surprised. You in the interactions we've had, you are very straightforward. No one's going to be confused about where Nikki Gary or Nikki Bowers or Nikki Austin stands. So yeah, I'm looking forward to VIP too. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys live. My gosh, this is going to be great. So yeah, that's where we are. What other comments or thoughts do you have on I miss you? What does it really mean? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about hearing it? What thoughts do you have? Now, again, some of you may be, again, I started to say this earlier, some folks may actually have a situation like this, right? That's kind of been going on for maybe some months, even years. Just calling it what it is. And that's okay. Shout out to the Nickies for sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, so these things are real. And what I want you to not beat yourself, right? But I hope it helps you like it helped me, because it truly, truly, truly reshaped how I moved after that. Because it wasn't enough to just say, I miss you, because it can be superficial and unfulfilling, especially if you desire more with that person or you desire more in general. And I would submit to you that it's probably you desire more in general, because if that person can't fulfill that, then they simply are a placeholder. You desire that more with the person that's for you and who you were for, and who's demonstrating that they are interested in the same things that you're interested in, and you are as well, because they not only are communicating, they're demonstrating. Yeah. So, any thoughts, questions, or comments? I wasn't going to pour today, but I decided right before I came on, I said, you know what? Why not? Anyone else sipping? Thumbs up or cool. Let me know. It's okay if you're not. Because I was kind of thinking about some water. Some of you may have missed this, but I'll put it out again. For those of you who are local in the DMV, DC area, I heard the weather is going to be cool tomorrow, but it's going to be cool, like 60s, high 60s, something like that. Man, I want to smoke. I do. I want to smoke tomorrow, but I don't know if it's smart. It may be too cool. And I got to be out. We got to social distance and stuff, right? So I'm thinking about hanging out tomorrow. One of my buddies hit me up and told me about that. What at the gym? Very cool, Nick. Very cool. I love it. I got my workout in earlier today. Good for you. Getting that work in. I love it. But yeah, just want to get my chill on. I've been in the house too long. Just want to get out and hang out with some good folks. So if I get out and you're local, I'll post it in the group. So if you want to come hang out, that's cool. Social distance, of course. And I think I should too. Oh, can you share a little bit more about how to connect with VIP? Yeah, so VIP again is going to be paid access. That there's going to be a link. So I'm getting again the back office part of that set up so that you can, if it's something that you like to do, you totally can do so. There's going to be there's a 3-month membership that we want to look at, and that we're offering, I should say. And so that access is going to it's not just going to be just a First Fridays, right? It's going to be us. Like, so we'll have we'll meet like for that 3 months. We'll have a weekly set, I'm not going to call it a training. We're just going to talk. We're going to have conversations, because that environment, let me talk to you about VIP for a second. This environment is for men and women who are, again, high functioning, high achieving, who have questions and to know that you're not alone. It's a safe space. It's a place where we can discuss things openly and honestly and candidly, and you can share at the pace that you want. But it's just like Nicole asked her question earlier, and she said that, she asked the group, and it's the same kind of thing. But unlike this, we're going to be in an even more contained space, and it's just going to be the group. And so those people will have access to me. They'll have access, of course, they'll be part of Sip and Chill. That's still going to happen. But then we have our time in Sip and Chill. We have our First Fridays, but then we have our time 4 times a month, right? Where we are a separate time apart from Sip and Chill. That group is together discussing whatsoever we need to. And there's going to be some things that I want to share with you as well, right? So it's not going to be like let me tell you what I think. It's going to be, hey, let's discuss this. And there may be some things that you want to bring to the conversation, right? In other words, the environment is for good men and good women to connect. I'm not talking about a dating or a hookup service. It's not what this is. It's not what it's ever going to be. But what I want you to understand is that what we're doing is intended to be fertile ground for good men and good women to have some real conversations, debunk relationship perceptions, how men think, how women think, what women want, what men want, to really have those conversations in a safe environment, right? And my goal is to facilitate that because like I shared with you last week before, when I first announced this, what we want to do is I'm building to something bigger. Yeah, this is just a precursor to some other things that I actually want to do in media. And some of you know, was on radio last week. That's not the first time. I've done it a few times. And so next is TV and ultimately my own show. So yeah, get hammered. We need to hear the man. For sure, no doubt. Listen, and that's the whole point. So Nikki, listen to me. What I like you to do is talk to your good guy friends and let them know about VIP. They are totally invited and totally welcome, right? Because I don't want to be the only voice. If you remember, we did the coordinates, right, some months ago, and the reason we did that is because I wanted you to hear not just my voice, but there are other men who feel and think just like I do. Not think like I do, but you know, we're similar. Our thoughts, our goals, our intentions are very similar. They're aligned. It's probably a better word. And so, yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll get hammered initially, but the goal is to get good dudes. And that's why when I do my videos, I'm like, hey guys, I need you in the lounge. This is going to be popping because I know that there's a need for this. And my goal is to meet the need. Yeah, to have these conversations, to get some people healthier emotionally, right? To let them know that in that space that you're not crazy, you're not alone, you know, you're not off the reservation or nothing like that. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. I'm excited about VIP. I really hope you are. I'm pleased to hear the response because Sip and Chill is cool, but when you have a more private, intimate space where I can see you, you can see me, I think it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a lot deeper connection, a much more deeper connection than just me broadcasting here in this group. It's gonna be with people that are like, hey, I want to be a part of that. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah. Latanya, did I answer your question? I hope I did. I hope so. Yay. I'm glad you like it. And again, I appreciate the feedback. I'm glad you guys are definitely are open to it. Yeah. Could be kind of cool. In fact, it's going to be better than kind of cool. It's going to be flipping awesome because I don't think this exists anywhere. And I want to provide it. I want to bring it to the market. Right. But yeah, I'm excited. Oh, cool. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Real grown men and women conversations. You got it. You got it. No garbage. No garbage. No, no garbage. Absolutely. It's going to be solid people in the group. I promise you that. It's not, again, this is not about just anybody come one, come all. No. Like I said, high functioning, high achieving, professional men and women who want to connect with other people, right? That are not trying to holler and that kind of stuff. Now, if that happens, okay, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to let men know good women exist and to let women know good men exist and that we are not unicorns. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're good. You guys have any questions before we jump off? Okay. Well, listen, I enjoyed hanging out with you. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. And, sorry, just need one more. Look for that VIP information coming out. I promise you it's coming soon. In fact, I don't want to tell you my goal to get it out, but understand we got a small window, right? Because I need to get it out to you so that you can make a decision if you want to participate because First Fridays is coming. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it may be a dress code too. Yeah. You got to kind of like if you're hanging out, you know, yeah, you're going to be at home or wherever you're going to be, but you want to look the part. Yeah. Not in sweats. Just saying. Wear your fly things, you know. Because I mean, maybe you haven't had a chance to dress up in a while, and I think that'll be cool, you know, for people to do. Yay! All right, I love it. I love it. Because who doesn't like to get their swag on? You know what I'm saying? So listen, you all have a fantastic weekend. Great seeing you again in the lounge. Happy you were here with me. I was really thrilled to be here with you. Hope the topic was something that resonated. And Alex, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Happy you guys are here. Listen, have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Expect the information on VIP, Sip and Chill. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Hey, listen, have a great weekend. I'm Coach Reg, and I love. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.